Well, hello, my friends. Welcome back to Breakfast with Sergio. This is another episode of Artists in Lockdown. And today I'm super excited to have with me Sima Schloss, who is joining us all the way from New York City. We're going to talk about the hidden opportunities behind the crisis. Hi, Sima. How are you today?
Good, Sergio. How are you? So nice to see you.
Very nice to see you as well. Super happy to have you here in the show, and
Yes.
particularly talk about some of the hidden opportunities, hidden treasures that sometimes happen behind a crisis. And we're going to have a great conversation about that, how you are also adapting as an artist to this new reality and that we all living right now. And before we do that, tell me a little bit how things are in New York, because you are in New York City. So
Right.
you are, really close to what's happening there. Can you give us a bit of an update? And also, how is the art
Sure.
community, artists that are coping with
It's interesting because New York, I feel like it's been a little de-New York City-ified. It's quiet.
Yeah.
The streets are, the essential businesses are open,
Yeah.
but it's very quiet. It's strange. In a way, this sounds strange, but the air is very clear. I mean, you can really see the sky. And when you do go outside for like the 2 minutes with the mask and everything, the air feels really clean, but it's eerie and it's quiet. A lot of people have left.
I see.
So, it's sad, but I think we're all feeling it. It's a very different atmosphere.
Absolutely. And I was in New York for the Armory show. So
right
before it all started, and kind of when we were there already, the news were starting to get big and people staying there. We're like, the Armory show was like packed of people, like,
you know what? My gallerist from Boston we were at, we were at spring break and I was helping her out there and it was busy. And, you kept hearing news, but it was like, I was taking it seriously, but I just didn't expect a pandemic. Yeah. But who did? I mean, how could have anyone known?
And so quickly, because things kind of develop like overnight,
Yeah.
We got back to Chicago and like the next day, like everything closed down. Like, wow.
Exactly. And I just wasn't prepared for it to go so fast, but.
So tell me how, the art community or the artists that you connect with, how are they also coping with it?
Everybody's kind of coping. I think that's the word, the best way. I think at first people were in shock and, people are adjusting to working at home in their studios. The one thing I think I've been really connecting with my friends on social media and really getting inspired by other artists working at home. And I've been finding that many of my friends in their practice are really experimenting because before everything is so, we have all these other obligations. You want this time and you keep saying, oh, I'm going to try this, but well, now we have the time. So that's what I'm finding. A lot of my artist friends are experimenting and trying new things. And that's really cool to be hearing about. And it's helped me a lot too.
And I think you are absolutely right. This kind of is fertile ground for testing, for experimenting.
Yes.
Because we are all in it together. It's not like other things like, well, maybe something happens in a certain region and that's the only ones affected, but life is normal everywhere else. But right now, this is a global crisis.
Crazy.
So artists that you connect everywhere, we're all kind of under the same situation. So it kind of, absolutely, I think it gives us even a further open door to be creative in different ways, to try things. I've seen artists doing videos, doing collaborations with others through social media. I mean, or just working in their studio, but creating, their own thing in closed doors, which is like, we were talking a little bit about this before the call, for as much as we love the art world in our cities and the galleries and so on, staying in your studio is hard when you have to run so many things as part of your art business. But right now everybody's kind of like, no, you got to stay home.
I know. And there's a funny thing. There's something freeing about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I never, you would think you're trapped at home and, oh my God, but I'm finding, I mean, personally for me, I was very lucky. I had all these art supplies at home, but I'm running out of the stuff I usually use.
Uh-huh.
But necessity is the mother of all invention. So I'm finding I'm using materials I never thought I would use.
Before,
and it's so cool.
Absolutely.
So I'm grateful for it in a way.
So let's talk a little bit about that a little bit more in your own art practice. I've known your work for quite a few years. I met you through the National Wet Paint MFA Biennial, which I curate, and that's where we met for the first time. We've been in touch. Then I've created other exhibitions. You've been part of it too. So I've seen your development as an artist and the work that you have done. Tell me a little bit, you know, how you are adapting, because you also like to work sometimes in large scale and a lot of material. Tell me how you're adapting to that and how this is kind of making you, you know, look at things in a new way.
Well, I'm working smaller, which is,
okay.
I'm adjusting because, you know, it's funny. I started small and then I went to graduate school and, you know, everyone big. So I started working really big, and that was wonderful, hard and challenging. And I'm going back to smaller and I'm enjoying it. It's changing so much, but I'm having a good time with it. I have to say, I really am. And although I don't have the space I have, that's okay. I'm still working figuratively, but I'm pushing myself to be more uncomfortable with it.
Okay.
Trying new figures. And also I love working from the live figure. Don't have that opportunity.
Don't have that right
so
now,
I'm the live figure, but I'm also, I've always poo-pooed using photographs and magazines. I use them in my collages frequently.
Right.
But I'm finding ways to use them, but make them my own. Like, you know, Picasso always says, good artists copy, great artists steal and make it their own. So I'm trying to do that. And I'm really going back to some of my favorite artists and studying them. Like Picasso, Antonin Artaud, Francis Picabia, just many others. And I'm really going back to the basics, some Henry Moore stuff. It's challenging, but it's so much fun.
I'm happy you mentioned that because we haven't talked about this in any of the episodes, but like, I've been finding myself with more time to actually go in my library and pull some books that I haven't seen in long time. And then sometimes you sit in my studio and just pull a book like, oh, I haven't checked this out. Or, you know, sometimes you would purchase a book, you kind of do a quick read and then you put it in your library and then you don't pay attention to it anymore. So I'm finding right now kind of like rediscovering some of that material that I have been putting away, maybe for a time like this, right? To happen.
For a rainy day. It's not always been raining, but you have more time.
Yeah. Tell me how you're structuring your day, you know, as you are now confined home. Do you have like a pattern in which you're working, you're a time frame, or you're kind of more of a free spirit throughout your day?
I'm a person, I need structure. So, you know, I thrive during structure. Otherwise, if too much free time, doesn't work for me. So I wake up, you know, I've been waking up a little later than usual, but, and I try and go for a run outside with a mask, or I do something at home. And then the first thing I do, I kept my practice, is I check my emails and I work in my journals. And I tape, glue, write, whatever. And it's just to get the process flowing. And I've tried to I have that in my studio now too. When I was in my studio, then I check emails and then I do work. And I kind of kept it the same where I have to work on two pieces at once.
Okay.
So I've kept that. Then, you know, I'll take breaks in the afternoon and then I have my responsibilities at work. So pretty busy. I've tried to keep the structure the same, but you know, it's hard because I have a million distractions at home, but I've kept the schedule. I find it's, for me, every artist works differently. I have to.
Totally right. And you know, I think that's for the lesson for all of us, is to figure out what works, right? And give ourselves the time to adjust, to adapt, not to have the pressure. Or I was talking to a number of artists yesterday, and you know, some of them were saying, I have the pressure. I feel like I need to be really productive, and it's like, no, you gotta take your time, process how you work, adapt as you need to, and then you know, then it will flow. It has to feel natural for you.
Absolutely. And I think in our regular lives, we're so pressured to produce.
Right.
Now, it's, you know, my ideal is process, not product. And I feel that, and this is me, is that if you enjoy the process, the end result will be better. And I learned this: in order to make good work, you have to make a lot of bad work. I don't know how relevant that is, but well, it is, I think. But you have to go through the process, and that's the beautiful thing about this.
I think, I truly believe that this season is going to give way to a lot of amazing art from artists.
I agree.
You know, because we are pressured by the galleries, the deadlines, the shows that are coming, they're running around over crazy lives, and, you know, kind of being grounded in a way. It helps us to focus on the thing that we all love to do. And
absolutely,
in one way or another, I think amazing work is going to evolve from this season. So, Sima, you've been so awesome as usual.
You're fabulous.
So happy to see you here through video. Looking forward to see you again in the flesh pretty soon, when this thing is over.
And thank you so much for having me. What an honor. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Sima. Where can our friends find you and can see the work that you are doing?
You can check me out. Instagram, I'm at Simzee. So it's SIMZEE. And my website is simaschloss.com. You can also check me out on Facebook, which is Simas Schloss.
Okay, excellent. Well, Sima, super happy to have you today, and to all our friends watching right now, thank you so much for joining us. Please share this episode with your friend. Sima and I will be so excited for that. Reach out to Sima, reach out to me, and we'll see you in the next episode. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, Sergio.
Bye. Sima. Take care.